Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time car show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central. From Studio A in Texas, USA, it's the award-winning all things automotive car talk show, In Wheel Time. Just ahead, a review of our new car of the week, the 2021 Dodge Charger Hellcat.
Yowzers.
Look at our weekly events calendar. Jack Nerad joins us with the NAC Toy results, which is the North American Car and Truck of the Year results. We'll also have stories making auto news headlines this week. That and more just ahead on today's In Wheel Time car show for Saturday, February 6th, 2021. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars, King Conrad DeLong, Jeff Zekin just off camera over there. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad that you could join us. We've got a guest trying to get in, and we're going to keep the door locked as long as we can, just so I can fumble around here and figure out what we're going to do in the meantime.
Well, you always have news stories to tell.
Well, I missed the news last hour
because I went long.
Because you got real
full
bad
of hot air.
Again. So I thought that I would. We had a guest on with the Nissan Z Club. So I thought, in that vein, Nissan's trusty but aged Frontier pickup truck is undergoing its first major redesign in 17 years.
Finally.
Wow.
Finally. The Nissan dealers are going to be thrilled with this.
The 2022 Frontier, introduced Thursday and slated to go on sale late summer of this year, features
so they still have to wait.
Features a sportier profile and offers SUV-like conveniences. Pricings, of course, not disclosed at this time. Nissan helped create the smaller pickup segment in the U.S. with earlier versions of the Frontier, which sold more than 2 million units back in the day, over 3 decades. Its share of the midsize pickup segment peaked in 2014 at 29.3%. But new competition and Nissan's decision not to keep the truck fresh whittled the Frontier's share to just 6.1% last year. I don't know whether you can see this or not, but here is a...
well, I understand it's going to have a...
can you see that?
300-plus horsepower V6 and a 9-speed automatic.
Yeah, it actually looks pretty good. But the kind of it's disappointing, but does anybody really care about the underpinnings of it, the frame of it? They're going to keep the same frame. They're going to do some modifications to it, but they're going to keep the same frame. I guess it works.
It's a 17-year-old chassis, and they're going to they've got to make some upgrades to it. There's no way they can keep all the same components.
Correct.
But it's a way to save money as well, and still produce a new
plus if it works.
Because,
no reason to change it.
Carlos Ghosn took all the money, so there's no money for all that.
He snuck it all out.
He did.
In
a suitcase.
Suitcase along with him.
What was it? It was in some sort of drum kit suitcase or something. Some sort of...
Zekin was involved there.
Yeah, I probably was.
Sneaking him out in the drum kit.
How are we doing over there, Mr. Mars?
We've got a little bit of confusion, but we're getting it worked out
all
here pretty quick.
Great. So GM, Toyota, Vroom, and Jeep lead the automotive Super Bowl ad lineup this year.
Are you watching the Super Bowl?
I swore off of all that when that whole stuff started at the beginning of the year, and I got ticked off, and I said, I'm not watching any of this. Well, look what happened to the Texans. Nanny, nanny, boo, boo.
Yeah, the Texans traded the best wide receiver in the country.
Yeah, and they're about to lose the best quarterback in the NFL and
best defensive lineman in the NFL.
So on the way over, you got the signs out there from TxDOT, don't drink and drive, buckle up, everything. And it said that the Chiefs and I forgot who else was playing.
Buccaneers.
The Chiefs and the Buccaneers. Well, it said the Chiefs and the Buccaneers don't get blitzed, don't drink or you get pulled over. And I thought, no, but the Texans can because they're not playing.
Yeah.
They're not playing. They don't have a team.
And the Clydesdales aren't going to be in this, what I understand.
Darn it.
Yeah, there's going to be, a lot of
So GM,
change.
with a little help from actor Will Ferrell, wants to bring the EV crown to the U.S., so there's going to be a spot about that and the new Cadillac Lyric.
Well, isn't there kind of a little, not controversy because nobody really cares, but I think he's going to take offense to Finland.
Norway
in his commercial.
Yes.
That's just hilarious.
That's a 60-second spot that airs in the first quarter. Separate ad from Cadillac is expected to play on the 1990 film Edward Scissorhands.
You had me at Lyric.
Yeah. Toyota isn't showcasing any vehicles this year, opting to tell the story of Paralympic swimmer Jessica Long in a thing called Upstream. The ad will air during the second quarter. Let's see what else. Vroom, the used car dealer, used car shopping site that allows consumers to buy vehicles without stepping into dealerships, is making its first Super Bowl appearance. The commercial is called a floater, which means in the advertising world, don't get the wrong impression here, that it will air depending on the pauses in gameplay. So it's a floater.
So
it doesn't have a fixed spot.
So if they don't find a spot for it, do they still pay for it?
They'll find a spot for it.
Yeah, they want the money.
Jeep. Bruce Springsteen, notorious for avoiding ad appearances, might finally be in a big one. The boss appears poised to star in Jeep Super Bowl ad, according to Ad Age. Local media reports out of Nebraska documented his travels in the state in recent days that appear to be slated to shooting a big game ad for the brand. Stellantis, which now owns FCA, which is Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, confirmed Wednesday that Jeep would run an ad in the second half of Sunday's game, but did not provide details.
Nebraska really makes me think of big game, doesn't it?
It really does.
I'm going to watch
All
it.
I can think of is pig farmers.
I'm going to watch it for the costume malfunction.
Oh, gosh. That was a Houston thing, wasn't it? Yeah, that was here.
Only you would remember that. You know, I never even saw that. I don't know why. I didn't see it. Didn't care, really.
Oh, well.
I know that my daughter Laura and her, Dave, my son-in-law, are going to watch it, and they've kind of corralled Kathy into making some hors d'oeuvres and such for their party. So she's involved in that.
Well, you've heard that Ford and General Motors are struggling keeping assembly plants open because of semiconductor issues.
And that's it. All automakers, one way or the other, are having all sorts of problems. And what's going to happen is that you're going to go, it's time for us to buy the car, honey, and go to the dealership and see that you have very limited choices in the car that you want, or none at all, because they're having to shut down lines across multiple brands.
And Ford F-150 is going to shut 2 lines down because of
that's
going to be
major.
painful.
Yeah, with a brand new truck,
Right.
and they can't turn them out because of no chips.
So both the Dearborn and Kansas City plant are about to face production disruptions because of this chip availability issue. GM's having the same problem.
All of them are.
It's the damage caused by not properly sourcing from multiple providers is part of the problem, and so much of this stuff is actually coming out of the Wuhan area of China.
Wuhan. Yeah.
So you're not allowed to say Wuhan flu, right?
No, you can't say
Wuhan
China
virus,
flu.
China flu and the Wuhan
Why
virus.
can't you say China flu?
Because they passed something in Washington, D.C. that says those are not. That's bad terminology yet.
Is bad
So what
terminology
happens
to use China flu? You can't say China flu
You're not supposed to say China
at
flu.
all.
So
No
do
China
we
flu
get
at all.
cut off of the internet if you say China flu?
If you work for well, who knows today? With how much control the big tech is taking. But anyhow, that's going to be a real problem as it's putting people out of work because they just can't get components.
The next thing
Yeah,
is they're
can't
going to
get
start
parts.
checking the brand of underwear you wear. Not me, because I don't wear any. But
Oh, I knew we were.
We
going
didn't
there.
need to know that. Look, let's talk to Scotty's Hot Rod
Is he
Garage.
finally ready?
Yeah.
Finally, hey Scott, welcome to the show.
Hey, how are you doing?
Glad you found the connection.
yeah, and
It's and we know it was Mars's fault.
yeah, and we just wanted to bring you in just at the time that we're talking about underwear. I don't know where that's going to lead with us and Scotty's
Well,
Hot Rod. Huh?
As long as you're wearing clean underwear when you're in an accident, you're okay.
That's
Well,
it.
Mom
That's what. Yeah, and
My
mine
mom
did too.
told me that. That's
yes,
right.
always wear clean
The
underwear.
universal mom statement.
But whose are you wearing?
There is that. Scotty's Hot Rod Garage. And the thing is, I thought, Scotty's Hot Rod Garage. Well, I wonder where that is. Probably somewhere in the Midwest. No, it's in Friendswood, Texas, right down the street down here.
Yes, sir.
Well, how is it that we've managed to avoid each other all these years? It's a pleasure to meet you, and we want to find out all that there is to know about Scotty's Hot Rod Garage.
Okay. Well, I lived up in the North Dallas area between Dallas and Denton and Louisville, grew up there. And after I graduated high school, I joined the military and learned a trade. after I got out of the military. I spent 30 years in aviation and ended up finishing out my stint in aviation at Lockheed in 06 and was laid off in the F-16 program because I was in management. Ended up working in a little hot rod shop. Cars have always been my passion. Met my wife. She lived here in Friendswood. I traveled back and forth for 22 months and ended up moving here. And I got here in August of 08. September, Ike hit. October, my truck was totaled. In November, I was laid off just 10 days before we got married.
Great.
So that was my
Your
stint.
timing
And
is
we thought
impeccable.
2020 was bad.
So my wife talked me into, she said, during 08 when the economy had tanked a little bit, I tried to get back into aviation and stuff, but things just didn't happen. God didn't have that in my plans. So he told my wife that I needed to start a hot rod shop. And I knew no one here in Houston area, period, other than my wife and her family and stuff. And I was like, this is a stretch because I don't know anybody. Ended up, she made me business cards. I have a 56 Ford Big Window pickup, went to the car shows, started passing them out. And the next thing I know, I ended up with a 30 Model A coupe in my driveway that was 6 foot underwater in Ike in Galveston. And that started it all off.
Oh, how cool.
There you go.
Too bad for the person's car, but what a cool way to start.
Well, actually, I've done, I've fixed the car, got it all running for him, got everything going, rewired it, got the tank fixed. And he is now one of my closest friends. And I work on a number of his cars.
Neat.
Yeah, and one thing when I was talking to Scotty, one thing that I figured out real quick. So you talk about a hot rod shop, and you want to bring a car in there to get it worked on. And people start talking about, well, let me put the computers on it and all that stuff. He don't work on those kind of cars. He is an old school hot rod guy, right?
Right. I have branched out just a tad bit. I'm not a computer geek by any means. I'm old school, but I have branched out and started doing some of the Phytech fuel injections. I'm actually one of their service centers here in the Houston area. And they're self-learning, so I don't have to get into all this computer stuff and everything. But it's the only upgrade that I do that has anything to do with the computer. Most of my stuff is pre-80 stuff.
So the closest thing you come to integrated circuitry is a voltage regulator inside of an alternator.
Absolutely.
Well, and one of the things I noticed on your website is it looks like you have kind of a focus on electrical systems, rewiring vehicles so that they're wired properly as opposed to cut and clip wires, which is what you see on a lot of cars when the wrong people start upgrading the electrical systems on them.
Right. Well, the electrical system is the central nervous system in a car. It's one, if not the most important part of a vehicle and stuff. It can cause you, all kinds of catastrophic damage just by itself.
From being done wrong, or it creates a thermal event, is what I call them.
Oh,
yeah.
All of a sudden, you're starting to let all the smoke out of the wire.
Right. I had a car, for instance. I had a car come in, and the gentleman said that he had bought it off of the TV show Car Sharks from Dallas.
Oh, gosh.
And he brought it in, and it pulled into the shop, and we opened up the hood, and it had a 10-gauge wire that was arcing going through the firewall that was bare. God. And it was bare not only just a few inches, it was bare like about 10 inches. Wow. And so we immediately unplugged the battery and stuff and started working on it and got the gentleman all taken care of, and he has a really nice car now.
Well, and also kind of cruising your website, you got some pretty cool toys that you've worked on. I'm a huge fan of the '69 Shelby GTs, and you ended up doing a GT 500. You also had was it a Fairlane or a Torino 500? So some pretty some pretty interesting cars that you got to go through. And did you rewire all of those?
Yes, sir. Actually, the Torino was a complete build. The GT 500, it It took probably about a month to do. It's usually a lot quicker, but that one had to go back 100% original since it was a numbers matching car.
Oh, wow.
And stuff. So we had to take tons of pictures and route things exactly where they needed to be in order to make it back to where it needed to be factory.
Hey, Scott, do you work on multiple projects at a time, or you start one and complete it to the end and then move on to the next?
I do multiple. My shop is a 2,400 square foot shop, and I'm actually right behind my house, so I don't have a whole lot of traveling distance between it. But I do work on a couple of cars at a time. I am a single
proprietor
mechanic here now. I've had an office girl and 4 other mechanics at the time, but through a chain of events and stuff that I ended up, it's just me and stuff. I can focus on my quality that I started out with. I brought a lot of my aviation experience into the car world about having it done right the first time.
Hey, Scotty, we got a couple of minutes left. Can you give us a quick look at some of those projects you had in the garage the other day?
Absolutely. Hang on just a second.
So when you talk about bringing your aviation experience, were you doing electrical work for Lockheed as well? Is that where that experience came from?
I was structuring composites.
Oh, wow.
That's what I spent my whole life doing, is structuring composites and stuff. So ended up that, cars have always been my passion. I had a kid one day tell me when I was working at a little shop, and he said, I don't like cars. They don't enthuse me whatsoever, but I'm good at what I do in the restoration world. And I kind of felt the same way with aviation. I did it well. I liked what I was doing, but I have no interest in aviation whatsoever.
It's not your
Cars
passion.
have always been my passion.
All right, cool. Turn your camera around. Show us your toys.
Okay, this one is actually my truck that I came here with, and it's been tore down for 7 years because I'm a mechanic, and I'm putting it all back together to get it as my daily driver. This is my 56 Ford pickup.
It's in workable condition, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well,
It's got a new chassis. It's got a new chassis under it, 4-link suspension in the front, Mustang 2 in the back. It's got a new 99 Ford Explorer motor with a AOD in it, and it's going to be my daily driver.
Nice.
Oh, how neat. But as typical, when nobody's paying for it but you, it gets put on the back burner. You're going to go work on the revenue generators first.
Yeah, the shoe cobbler never has shoes.
Right. This car here was a gentleman came to me, and this one it's a 68 Charger RT 440 Magnum.
Oh, wow.
Hypo, automatic, it's column shift with no console. Had to put floor pans in it. It sat for 27 years in a basement in West Virginia.
Wow.
He graduated high school, put it in his dad's basement, ended up that he ended up leaving for college, and 27 years later, he came and picked it up and brought it here to the Alvin area, and ended up having to go back and restore it. He didn't want to restore the whole car. He said the paint, he didn't want to mess with it because of the paint on it was decent. He wanted to get the car up and running and driving.
Well, that's good.
Makes
That's
sense.
good. Make a driver out of it instead of a show car.
You know,
Right.
and
And
it's funny to see how some cars were configured from the factory, column shifted automatic, no console. How unusual people would think that was for a Charger with a Hypo 440 in it, but actually it wasn't very unusual at all to see cars with such odd configurations in them.
Yeah, we added the Phytech fuel injection to this one because he wants to drive it and stuff. So,
Scotty,
this other
when you redo wiring, do you buy wiring harnesses or do you just buy spools of wire and make the harnesses yourself?
actually, what I do is I go through a company called Easy Wiring, and they are affordable. I've been using them for probably 20 years. And the deal is with those is I can custom those harnesses out to make them look exactly like the factory harnesses.
So all of the striping, the insulation striping, color coding is all correct.
It's basically, I mean, the striping on the wires and stuff are not correct. and stuff. They are just there's a color code to them. It's basically off of a Chevrolet, based off of a Chevrolet wiring harness, but I can make them fit, and I tape them. I don't use the loom or anything. I tape them 100% so that when you get through, you really can't tell that they're not the factory harness.
Cool.
Yeah, because harnesses, generally speaking, were all taped up.
Yeah,
you
they
couldn't
were
see, see what was underneath
Yeah,
it.
Right.
that the sheathing loom stuff he's talking about really didn't start happening until probably about the mid '90s. Prior to
Right,
that,
and-
everything just had black electrical tape that wrapped it up, and then it'd peel out a component and it'd still wrap that up.
And the sheeting, wasn't that
Right.
like a fire prevention also?
No,
some
the
cases,
sheeting
no?
is corrugated plastic,
Oh.
and it was tendency has to burn and stuff. With taping them up, it ends up making them. You can move them away from the things that you want to move them away from, and stuff. And you can pinpoint every location that a wire comes out. And I spent about a month and a half working on a 69 C10 for a gentleman, and we hid every wire. And he ended up taking it to the C10 Nationals and won his class in C10 Nationals. He also won Good Guys in Tennessee, in Nashville, with the same truck. And he's building another truck now, and he said he wants me to do it too.
Well,
Very good,
And the
very
interesting thing about that is when you get those kind of judges looking at that vehicle to win that level, they're looking just with a microscope for errors in how it's built. So you must do some pretty awesome work to let them win at that level, because that's all the judges are looking for, are minuscule deviations from factory.
Right. Well, this truck was completely custom and stuff, and he wanted to make sure that that the harness and everything was hid. Actually, he ended up, I hid it to the point where you only had little pigtails coming out for the headlights that you could see. And he eventually covered all that up also. But every relay, everything it needed was gone. So, but
Pretty cool.
this Mustang is one of 4 that a gentleman owns. And I do a lot of maintenance on vehicles, which this car 25 years ago was built, and the brake system I have to go through it. We're also doing a hydraulic clutch, because at the time when he built the car, they didn't have the hydraulic clutch at that point. They had cables, so we're redoing all of that and everything.
Very
Just
cool.
upgrading a lot of stuff on the car.
Making drivers out of them, or keeping them driving.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Scotty,
And
go ahead.
I'm not interested in doing a lot of show cars, because these cars are my passion. They become my car when it comes in here. And what I really like to do is have something that people are actually driving
Enjoying.
and going out and doing something with, versus just sitting in a garage
Yeah,
somewhere.
you're not building trailer queens.
Right.
So it's Scotty's Hot Rod Garage.
Yes, sir.
Very good.
We've got your website posted up on our Facebook page. We really appreciate you joining us today.
Absolutely. Anytime, guys.
All right, man. Scotty, thanks.
Thank you.
You bet. All right, time now for this hour's car review. Mr. Mars has the 2021 Dodge Charger, and that's as far as I'm going to go with it.
I'll take it from there.
I figured you would.
We're talking about the 2021 Dodge Charger SRT Hellcat Redeye Widebody. I mean, we're talking about
Okay,
everything.
We got it. You can stop.
Okay.
You can stop rubbing it
Okay,
in now.
and it, basically, if you look at it, it's a Dodge Charger. You think family sedan. Well, this is not your family sedan, I'm going to tell you. In fact, we talk about the Hellcats being muscle cars, because you can drive them every day and you can run them and race them and do all kinds of things. This is the wide body. Now, this is the one that goes beyond. This is still conceivably a muscle car, but it's not going to be something I don't believe you'd drive every day, but man, it sure is
It's
fun
only
to
a
drive.
700 plus horsepower muscle car.
You're right. And the one that we had was, there's several things about this thing, and the one we had was that had the mango exterior paint. Now, the thing about these is they've got some great colors. FCA or Dodge has always had some great colors. Some of the new ones they have for 2021 is called Hell Raisin. That's a color. Go Mango's a color. And White Knuckle is another color.
Good names for
I'm telling you,
colors.
I love it. And so when you get on the outside of this, I mean, it is a Charger, and it's got some very nice Charger lines, including the smaller rounded face that Dodge has put onto the Charger. We had the Redeye badging up on the fender, the grill, the deck lid. We had the satin black hood and the roof and the trunk, and the spoiler was satin black, so it really made it this performance look to it.
That's a cool shot.
But it still has the profile that links it back to the 68, 69, 70 model Chargers. If you look at them, those lines are still there.
Coke bottle shape to it.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you, we were rolling on 20 by 11 inch aluminum wheels.
Oh, my gosh.
All four corners. We're talking about some rubber hits the road.
That's why it needed to be a wide body, because you got to cover the tires.
Yes, it did, and that's exactly what it does. So you get into the interior, and we had the leather seating with the logo, and we had the carbon interior accents on it, but it's a cockpit-style dash. And, again, it's very driver-oriented because it kind of cocks the center stack over towards you. We had the 225-mile-an-hour speedometer option. And we had the suede door panels, headliner. So it's still got some touches on it on the inside of it to remind you that this is a fully functional, drivable car you could drive every day, including the 8.4-inch touchscreen where you're going to find the Uconnect 5. That does all your convenience controls, but it also is where you're going to find the performance pages, where you can really get into the settings on that. And that's where this comes into the 6.2-liter V8. With 797 horses.
Oh, my gosh.
797 horsepower, 707 pound-feet of torque, backed by an 8-speed automatic transmission that will shift and get when it's time to do it. Now, the EPA says on this vehicle here, you should be looking for about 12 miles per gallon in the city, 21 out on the highway, and you're looking at a combined 15. I didn't get quite that.
No,
because you have a fat foot.
Well, and again, this is one of those cars, if you're looking for fuel economy, this is not what you're looking for. You want the V6 version that still has 292 horsepower on it.
Lord.
But this vehicle is, according to Dodge, which I couldn't really verify because I didn't have the facility to do that, 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds with a top speed of 203 miles per hour.
797
So
horsepower, I
could
believe
the
it.
Beaumont Police Department verify that?
Well, I didn't get a chance to work with them that close, but they probably could have.
Thanks, George.
And the great thing is it comes with a 3-year warranty. I mean, this is a 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty. Anyway, so again, this is the step beyond the Hellcat that you would normally find that we talk about being, I think, is a fantastic muscle car because it does get a little bit of fuel economy if you don't put your foot in it, and you can drive it. This goes beyond that. This is going to be the track version of that car. You can drive it out on the highway. I did. It's very firm on the ride, and it handles very well. But again, it is what I would consider a track version. Now, if you're looking for something to compare it to, that's going to be really, really hard.
Anything.
You know, you might look at a BMW M5 with 617 horsepower, but that's going to cost you over $100,000. Mm-hmm. So if you're looking for a base Charger SRT Hellcat Redeye Widebody, starts at $69,995.
Not bad at all.
Now, if you add in a few options that we had, including the gas guzzler tax of $2,100, then MSRP has tested $90,560 for a car that you can take out and run at the track and hit sub-12-second times and do 200 miles an hour if you got the guts to do
Is
it.
this a long car review?
No, sir, because
fast
I am done as fast as that car is. I am fastly doing. I'm going to save the rest of my Hellcat talk for next week. Next week, I've got one more coming.
Time's up.
You done now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. In Wheel Time Car Show streams on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com, along with Twitch. Podcasts available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, iHeart Podcasts, TuneIn, Google Podcasts, Pandora, Amazon, and Podcast Addict. In Wheel Time Car Show continues right after this quick break.
Pipes and Tacos is Houston's...
Oh, no. We're going to start that again.
Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's premier cruise-in, and you're invited to join in. Whether you're a cruiser or spectator, Tailpipes and Tacos is the place to enjoy made-to-order breakfast tacos, fresh coffee, and mingle with Houston's fun car people. Mark your calendar for Saturday, February 20th for Tailpipes and Tacos at the Luby Tortilla Mexican Restaurant in Katy, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Tailpipes and Tacos is free, and everyone's invited. You will see collector cars, hot rods, customs, magnificent originals, and resto mods all at one location. Cars from all over Southeast Texas cruise in and show off in a friends and family event at the Lupi Tortilla Mexican Restaurant on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10 in Katy. Drag racer, car enthusiast, and Lupi founder Stan Holt brings you Houston's hottest cruise in, Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, February 20th, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. at Lupi's in Katy. The In Wheel Time Car Show will be there too. Get your ride ready, and we'll see you at the Tailpipes and Tacos Saturday morning cruise-in, February 20th, 8 to 11 a.m. at Lupi's in Katy, weather permitting. Texas Truck Works is your go-to truck customizer. From mild-to-wild lift kits, custom wheels, and steering and handling enhancements to the best personal and commercial wraps, Texas Truck Works delivers. Let Texas Truck Works founder Scott Stevens help you get the most out of your truck or Jeep. Texas Truck Works has decades of customizing experience, including power adders and complete engine swaps. Let the Texas Truck Works team design an upgrade plan that fits your budget. Get truck attitude today at TexasTruckWorks.com. That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.